big opportunity to try and get to a final, and all the build up to it we felt really good. Yeah, on the day I think nothing really changed. We felt the same as we do going into every game, but then obviously when the game started it didn't go as planned, and the outcome wasn't the one we wanted. So
just hearing about playing at Hampden, obviously all the tickets we sold, we knew it was going to be a big game, so yeah, I was really excited for it. Playing at Hampden, playing at a neutral ground, kind of made the occasion feel a little bit different from a league game for sure.
We knew how they played and how they were going to come into the game. They gave us, basically let us have possession, and we just didn't do enough with it. They were really good on the day, we weren't good on the day, and we deserved what we got, to be fair.
It was quite clear that the ball was rolling and it was, far away from where the free kick had happened, and then there's always that frustration. Obviously the boys were all running back on transition, and then we concede the corner. It was obviously disappointing to concede from the corner, but we have a lot of chances to stop that goal going in. The ball rolling on the set piece I think is a really small part of us conceding that goal.
If I'm being honest, I saw the referee put his whistle to his mouth and then just didn't blow it, and then just let play carry on. And obviously they got the corner from that. I didn't really say much to the referee, but obviously everyone else around me did. But obviously it's not going to change his decision then. We've got to defend the corner, we didn't. And
it was definitely a difficult first half. I think they had a lot of momentum after the 2 goals, and even though maybe we had more of the ball, I feel like they were really confident in what they were doing. That was kind of their plan to set up.
We were obviously frustrated going into the dressing room. Everyone was not happy. There was words said in between in and around the team, but there was no real worry, because we thought if whoever gets the next goal's massive.
Yeah, I think we did increase our tempo a little bit. There were a few half chances, a few balls into the box, but yeah, I don't think we created enough. And then by the time we did score, it was near the end of the game, and we had to be pretty desperate.
Slattery, free kick is taken quickly. Charles Cook now driving forward. He's got Sparrow to the right of him, who he finds. Tom Sparrow delivers into the box looking for Hendry, who scores! Motherwell have one back. The deficit is halved, and we have a finish on our hands now, and a lifeline for the Steelmen.
I think the energy kind of lifted up a bit, and obviously our fans got involved, and then obviously we thought we could get the next goal after that, but lack of concentration and switched off, and then they scored pretty quickly after and killed the game off, basically.
Once that 3rd goal went in, especially just after we'd scored and kind of regained a little bit of belief, I think that was the final nail in the coffin. Everyone knew that it was over.
We obviously scored our goal, and we probably got excited. I think we switched off for a split second, and then they punished us. I think it was another ball forward. We didn't defend the first phase and the second phase, and then they got the ball down, and then it was almost like a comedy of errors that just led into that 3rd goal. And then when that went in, we were kind of deflated. Like I said, going into the game, we had real confidence and thought it could be a possibility for us to really show ourselves and what we can do, but it just didn't go to plan on the day. The only thing I can remember is we didn't really go through the game that much afterwards in meeting, which we usually do after every game. Every game on the Monday or whatever, we've gone in and gone over the game, but this game we kind of just watched a couple of clips. I think the set piece clips basically just talked to us and just told us how we felt and lifted us basically straight away. And I think, to be honest with you, it's worked so far. So I think that's the only thing differently he's done, and I think it's probably worked for us, to be fair.
I don't think there was anything in particular that he did different. There was definitely an emphasis on us not panicking and not blaming the style or how we set up in the St Mirren game on the result. It was more just trying to put that game aside and still believing in ourselves and the way we're playing, and knowing that if we keep to the manager's plan and keep playing how we had been playing, obviously with a few things, especially around the tempo and defending and different small things, but no, it was just putting that St Mirren game behind us and looking forward.
I wouldn't say a stalemate because it wasn't 0-0, but it was like we were kind of cancelling each other out in the game. We knew it was going to be tough, and it was, and I think getting a point up there is never a bad result.
We started quite well. I remember having a lot of the ball. We created a few half chances again. Yeah, I remember going to the changing room at half time, obviously a little bit frustrated it was 0-0, but also feeling confident that we were ahead in the game.
we lost the ball and we lost a little bit of balance. And then I think we just allowed him too much time. Come inside and just dribbled for too long. And then obviously he took that snapshot, which from my perspective, I wasn't expecting, which is obviously not ideal, but it came through a couple of bodies and I was a little bit unsighted and just went behind the player and he reversed into that corner. I obviously moved across a little bit too far, and before you know it, it's just right in the back of the net, and we've gone one down, but we just had to react, and we did.
The truth is that as soon as the ball went out for the corner, I think I was in quite a good spot to play short, and it was actually Elliot who was telling me to turn around, and I told him no, that I wasn't going to, because earlier in the game we'd gone short to me and I'd end up shanking one straight to the keeper. So I thought, let's just set this up, but Els was pretty adamant that I should turn around, and when I finally did, the ball was right there, and I just got something on it, snuck under the keeper. So yeah, pretty grateful to Elliot and Slats for that. I don't think I had too much to do with it, other than just being in the right place. We have an emphasis on playing short and trying to play fast when we get corners and free kicks, just because we think that that's where we can hurt teams. But yeah, in that moment, yeah, I wish I could take credit for a nice plan, but it wasn't me.
We obviously knew we should have won that game the first time round at home, and I think we just wanted to win it even more going away now, and we knew it was going to be tough because it always is tough going there. And I think like we heard, I think before the game, the club hadn't won there for a while, so we just wanted to make sure we did that, and I think we put on a really good performance after the international break.
Yeah, I played both games while I was away, so there was a little bit of fatigue. We came from New York in the second game, so yeah, I think it was like a 7-hour flight, got back early in the morning, so yeah, feeling a little bit tired, but yeah, I was excited for the game. I was away on tour with George Danger, so we talked a little bit about the game. So
he's a live wire and he's a really big threat for us, and he's a great character in the changing room. You can always talk to him, and he's always in and around the change room making noise, whatever it is, and he makes noise on the pitch as well, clearly. So he's a really good player to have in the team, because he can just produce anything from nothing, basically. A lot of his goals this season, he just makes something happen. I'm really, really happy for him because he deserves it. He works really hard, and the goals so far have shown how hard he works, because they're all different types of goals.
Yeah, he is. I think every game we play, he's causing the opposition so many problems with his pace, his runs in behind. His finishing's been, so clinical. So yeah, he's been really massive for us.
I mean, we say it to each other in the change room all the time. Like, even the times it's happened before, is like, it's only 2-0. Like, we need to come out and come out firing again. And we say it to each other every time. And obviously, it happened again in Kilmarnock, where within 5 minutes we've conceded again. And it's hard to put your finger on, because we do speak about it, saying let's not switch off. Let's keep going front foot. But like, a place like that at Kilmarnock, if you do concede early, you never know what's going to happen, especially how they play and the pitch, etc. So
at half-time, the message is we have to start fast, because we know that the opposition's going to come out and push. We've maybe learned from the previous games a little bit, and after that goal goes in, just resetting, not panicking, and continuing to do what we're doing.
I mean, I think it was 15-20 minutes after the goal, we were under the cosh, and I think it was bouncing around and it ended up going to the back post and falling to their fullback, and I remember getting across and him just levering it. I didn't know Paul was behind me, and I'm glad he was, because it was past me. For me, you want to keep clean sheets, but when you've got defenders that have the desire to do it as well, it was really good, and it really helps, and that's massive for us.
I know the message when I came in was to keep the ball, keep playing, not to panic, not to necessarily go into defensive mode. So in the previous games where maybe we've finished poorly, or especially in the second half, I think there's been a lot of learning done about our mentality and how we can, continue to raise the tempo rather than dropping back defensively.
Probably watching the game back, you can see, I think we brought, obviously, Gordo on, and we went to a 5, and I think it took maybe 5 minutes before we actually got some control back in the game. We had some possession, then we obviously had that nice move that got the penalty.
I always think he's going to score. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm not going to follow it in, because you never know, but yeah, I mean, he's been clinical from the spot this season, and I said to him before the game that for sure he was going to come on and score a penalty. So that's exactly what happened.
He does practice, and he has been practicing a lot, and fair play to him because he's 100% record so far.
I mean, just with the way the table is at the moment, every 3 points is massive, especially in a period where the games come so fast. It can be only 1 week, and with a few bad results, you can see yourself drop down quite a lot. So yeah, really important.
When you've got that many games coming up, getting a win straight away gets the confidence up, and you do feel really good going to the next games coming because you know you're not going to be training as much. It's just going to be game after game after game. As players, you look forward to that because there's just no time to think. Ugly win.
Who's that? Oh, Merchant. Good point.
To be honest, I wasn't expecting as much rotation as we made. Yeah, it was quite a unknown, I felt like, for us, the way we played going into that game.
I think as players we found out the day before, and it's just credit to the boys that are in the squad that haven't had as many minutes as some of the boys, and it's just being ready to perform when you're called upon. That was a performance that I think everyone was like wowed by because they were like really not confused but like surprised with the lineup. The idea we had for the game just worked perfectly and kind of killed the game in the first 30 minutes, and that was really pleasing for us.
Yeah, I had a similar chance a few minutes earlier where I tried to cut back, so this one I just wanted to take it early and I just tried to get whatever I could on it. At the time I thought that he might have fouled me after I'd shot, and so when the VAR check was going on and players were asking me if it was a penalty, I thought that it was probably soft, and I didn't know that he'd actually handled it. So when it got given for handball, I was quite surprised, just because I didn't see it. After I've watched it back, I think it's a penalty. It's pretty clear.
He does practice as well. Obviously he's not number one taker, but because he was on the pitch and none of the other takers were on it, he was first up, and he's confident going into that. So I didn't have any doubts. No.
It was always going to be JT. Before the game, the manager always has number 1 and 2, and JT was number 1. I think he takes it really well, and yeah, in the form that he's in at the moment, yeah, no doubts. The way we were pressing was really effective. So yeah, when I was in the box, I know Cookie was on the far side, and then I heard Tom behind me kind of screaming, so I tried to cut it back to him. I wasn't 100% sure where he was, and then it took a few deflections and luckily came back to me. And it's always good to get an easy one, so-called, to get yourself off the mark. So yeah, I was pretty pleased that the ball bounced back to me.
Charles Cook, was he fouled there? Play carries on, and it's now Mazwinizi again, through on goal to Wanda. Mazwinizi goes down! But the offside flag is up, I think. Yes, it is. Of course, VAR will check if Mazwinizi had timed his run correctly, or if there maybe is a bit more danger here for the visitors. But the referee comes back, and the red card is out for Grant Hanley. Hibernian are down to 10 men.
I get the ball at my feet quite often. I think if that wasn't the case, then it'd be a bit harder to stay into the game, but that helps when the ball comes back and you're always in the game having possession. Towards the end of the half, we did have that moment where they had that big chance. I think everyone got a bit caught by surprise because it was one pass that just opened us up, and then I reacted and he went round me, and then Johnny just comes out of nowhere and just clears it off the line. Like the one with Paul and Kilmarnock, it's so big for us because that started the run of clean sheets.
When Boyle has his big chance and Johnny clears it off the line, I think that was a good wake-up call that the game's not fully over and we need to stay sharp.
I was throwing my arms up in the air just because of how easy it was for the ball to get put through, and I was like, we're 2-0 up, we're comfortable, and then that happens and I was just ready to lose my head. You saw my reaction, just ran up to him and just kind of just shake him. It was massive at the time.
Obviously them going down to 10 men helps, but I think even from when they had 11 in the beginning of the match, we were on top, and yeah, I mean, it also shows that even when they had 10 men, we weren't trying anything different. We weren't, trying, maybe to push the ball more because players want to score, etc. We just stayed in control of the game and created chances naturally.
The whole of the second half was pretty comfortable for us. We kept the ball really well. Like you said, 800 passes is a pretty crazy stat. I know obviously they were down to 10 men, but you've still got to keep the ball and not get slack with it, and I think we did that really well. We had the chances to score more, couldn't take them, but we were really comfortable and we really dominated that second half and controlled the game.
Get in!
Come on then! Let me hear that!
I mean, we obviously knew that they were top of the table and playing really well, but I think we had a lot of confidence from the first game we played away against Hearts, so yeah, we were really up for it and we knew it was going to be a big game.
I didn't have much to do in the whole game, to be honest. I didn't make a save in the Hibs game, in the Hearts game. You go into them two games thinking you're going to be really busy, and coming out the other end, not making a save is a bit of a crazy one to think of, but yeah, I'll take it.
I thought he was onside, but then when he did a knee slide, then I thought, oh, this is going to be offside now, just because he'd celebrated so much. Yeah, it was so close. I mean, you can't tell in the moment. I don't think that him being offside gives him any advantage, so yeah, it's just unlucky, I think.
Maybe at the start of the season when we were scoring goals, I was celebrating like with them, but on my own, and now I kind of, just because anything can happen, I celebrate, but I kind of mute the celebrations a bit because you never know what's going to happen. Things are so tight now, like, you're never sure.
I think if it's close, me personally will err on the side of caution with the celebration. I also feel like if you celebrate and they end up checking it and it's offside, then it almost feels like you've conceded a goal.
That was a bit mental because there was nothing I could do. Corner came in to the back post and then I think it was Shanklin that headed it, and I was praying it goes over the bar, and then I saw it and I was like, yeah, no, this isn't going over the bar. And then from out of nowhere, Cal just comes with the best hamstrings in world football and just clears it off the line.
But I thought that it was Paul. I remember thinking it was pretty acrobatic from Paul. I was pretty surprised. So no, it was an unbelievable clearance.
Unbelievable. The angle I had was amazing.
The first one I had, JT crossed it and I was at the back post, tried to get as much power on the header as I could. It ended up being pretty tame. So I was a little bit frustrated, and then yeah, the big chance. Just remember driving forward. Yeah, I mean, I've watched it back 100 times and it's more frustrating every time. I wish that I'd had a little bit more composure and slotted it in. I think that at that point in the game, if that goes in, then we probably win, and I felt like we deserved to win that game. So yeah, it's a frustrating one, but one that hopefully I can learn from.
I think everyone and Eli knows that I think we should probably score, but I think it was a really good save from him. He came out, made himself big, and that was a massive save. With Lucas's and Slats there from further out, and you don't expect them to go in, and I think he's made really good saves. But that one from Eli was probably the chance we thought, okay, there's a goal here.
I feel like it was another 2 points that maybe we let slip away, but against top of the table, sometimes you can't complain.
We didn't dwell on the semi-final result afterwards at all. We didn't really look at any of it back, and I think that helped us. We just pushed on from there. And I think, to be honest, having the amount of games we did in a short period of time probably helped us a lot. We just kind of got on a roll, really. Obviously, they weren't all wins, but apart from the Killy game, they were clean sheets, and we had chances to win the game against Hearts. So I think it's a month, and the boys, we done really well. I think it's a month to be proud of. We obviously then can push on into the next month.
The poor performance in the semi-final was so frustrating and disappointing, but I think that rather than let that get us down, we knew that we were a better team than that, and the rest of the months or the games after that to show who we really were. And because the games came so fast and we rotated so much, it was such a good month for everybody involved in the squad. Everyone played their part, and it has helped us to kind of jump up the table a little bit. So yeah, everyone was pleased.